Yes, guys. Welcome back to the show. What is that thing there? I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I know it's a late one, 11 p.m. at night. I do know. I know. We was meant to go half hour earlier, but look, some good news to hit the show, guys. Some good news to kick us straight off before we start talking about all the Liverpool bollocks. So, Penny, my daughter Penny, is actually home. She's home now. She's home where she belongs. She is home. She came home earlier today. She's settling back into a routine of everything. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, but slowly and surely we'll get there. But yeah, Penny and my wife are now officially home. The family is all back under one roof. I'd like to say thank you to everybody that has always been asking about her and and all that, and the nice messages you've been always asking about Penny and how Penny is and everything. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Penny's home. My daughter's home from hospital. 15 weeks she's been in hospital for. 15 weeks, man. I didn't even recognise her when she came in. She's grown 5 inches. She's grown 5 inches since she's been away. That's what the surgery did to her, man. That's what the surgery did to her. It helped her grow 5 inches. She's in a protected body vest at the moment to keep her neck straight. She'll be in that for quite a while yet, probably 5 to 6 months. While the fusion is still doing its thing because her bones are soft. But the main thing is she's home. She's home. She can't walk properly at the moment, so she's going physiotherapy and stuff like that to get her walking properly. But that'll happen. No worries. There's nothing wrong with her legs or anything. It's just that she's been laid down in a bed for 15 weeks. So you know what I mean. So it's a bit difficult for her, but with the brace on and all that, she'll get used to it. She'll get there. But yeah, she's home. So that is the good news off the bat. So yeah, thank you very much. And watch out, guys. There will be a video of me and Penny very soon because Penny wants to say a big thank you to all of you. So yeah, look out for that video as well. I do appreciate it, guys. Do appreciate it. Now we're on to the big stuff. The big stuff. Liverpool Football Club. So obviously it's World Cup. It's World Cup season. You know what I mean? We had some World Cup games today. It wasn't a great day for football, to be fair, for the World Cup today. Switzerland, Cameroon, bit of a bore fest. Switzerland winning that 1-0 for a Cameroon striker. Go figure. Uruguay, South Korea drawing 0-0 in a dead game. Worst game in the World Cup. I don't know. Was Qatar, Ecuador worse? I don't know. But this was a dire game of football. And then it picked up a little bit in the evening time. So in late afternoon, Portugal and Ghana made an entertaining game. And then Brazil, Serbia. Now, wasn't the greatest game in the world, Brazil, Serbia. But Richarlison, man. Richarlison probably getting the goal of the World Cup. And getting a brace. Man looks totally different when he plays for Brazil than he does for Tottenham. You know what I mean? Totally different player. But how is everyone finding the World Cup? Is everyone enjoying it? How's everyone enjoying it? Everyone enjoying the World Cup? Because I'm sort of enjoying it. I'm sort of 50-50 on the World Cup at the moment. I still think it's a little boring, but exciting at the same time, if that makes sense. Now, we've got games tomorrow. Obviously, I will be doing a live watch along tomorrow with England versus the United States. I'm looking forward to that one. That'll be tomorrow night at 7 p.m, guys. So make sure you are tuned in to the channel. Make sure you subscribed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button as well. All the good stuff. And yeah, I'll be live tomorrow night for the watch along between England and the United States, guys. So make sure you're here for that. Senegal and Qatar. No, I'll be surprised if anyone's doing that watch along. Wales, Iran, Netherlands, Ecuador. Some pretty poor games tomorrow. And on the weekend, Argentina, Mexico, and France and Denmark. I'll probably be bringing you France and Denmark, guys. Yeah, I'll probably doing one a game. I'll probably be doing one game a day at the moment because Penny and Lauren are home now. I want to spend as much time as I can with Penny and Lauren. Obviously, I think you guys understand that. So I'll probably be only doing one game. So I'll be choosing the better game. So for me, France Denmark's the game to do. 4 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'll probably do Spain and Germany because that's a quality game to do. That's probably the best game in the World Cup so far, surely, for team versus team. Spain versus Germany. I'll be doing that 7 o'clock on Sunday, guys. So there's your next few videos on the channel, guys. So Sunday, I'll be doing Spain versus Germany. Saturday, I'll be doing France versus Denmark. And then tomorrow night, I'll be back versus England versus the United States. Also on Sunday night, hopefully we'll see the return of the After Dark podcast on my other channel, guys. So hopefully on Sunday night, the return of the After Dark podcast. Make sure you watch out for that as well, because that's had a 4-week hiatus. Been on holiday for that. So yeah, the After Dark should be back on Sunday night as well. Savage is back now, so things are picking up a little bit. Cav will be in the fold. So yeah, hopefully Sunday night we can have a good show with that. And yeah, that's what's going on for the week. Yeah, the end of this week, guys. So the rest of this week on the channel, so everyone knows now. Yeah, and as I say, Penny's home, so big up to everyone. Saying thank you for that. And yeah, let's talk more football now. Let's talk more football. Big up to everyone in the chat. Egyptian King, Carmen, Big 6 times. How you doing? Raging Pot, Nisa, Diago, how you all doing? Daz, how you doing? And Raging Pot, Bailey 19 in the house. How you doing? Usman, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Michael, how you doing, my man? Yeah, Spain, Germany on Sunday. Yeah, I'm doing Spain, Germany on Sunday as well, Michael. Yeah. Cheers 6 times. Appreciate it. Oh, big up Diogo. There you go. You know what I mean? That look, we ain't done many videos on the After Dark channel yet. We had a little rest about it. But yeah, it's coming back, and hopefully we can keep it going every single Sunday night. I will be looking to do more stuff over on the other channel as well. I want to get that moving a little bit. So you might see other things on there, like wrestling stuff, MMA stuff, any kind of like other sports news, and other kind of podcasts. You know, talking podcasts. So yeah, look out for all that stuff on that channel as well, guys. But hopefully we're back Sunday. Fingers crossed. So all the fam's back. So the fam's back. We're all under one roof. Yes, it's not like everything's fine now. It's all done. There's still a long road. Penny's going to need physiotherapy and all the good stuff and all that, because she can't quite walk yet, but she'll get there. You know, we've got a long journey ahead of us, but we're all under the same roof. Do you know what I mean? Just makes life a lot easier being all under the same roof again. The family's back together, which we're all very, very, very happy about. And it's coming up to Christmas. It's coming up to Christmas. What the hell? My daughter's been in my room, obviously. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so big up to everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's talk about the stuff you've all come in here for. That's the Julien Ward stuff, guys. The Julien Ward stuff. Don't forget, guys, there's only 13 likes and 34 people in here. Hit that fun button right now. Let's get the likes moving, guys. Let's get them likes moving, guys. Let's turn the light up a bit. Let's get this going. So, Julien Ward to leave role as Reds sporting director at the end of the season. Julien Ward replaced predecessor Michael Edwards, who is widely credited with much of the Reds' recent success in the transfer market, but will now leave to take a break after working for the Merseyside club in various roles over the past decade. Liverpool sporting director Julien Ward is set to leave the club at the end of the season after only 1 year in the post. Ward assumed duties from the predecessor Michael Edwards, who was widely credited for much of the Reds' recent success. His decision was unexpected and understood to have been greeted with disappointment within the club. Now, there's one thing I know a lot of people have been talking about is that, yeah, Julien Ward only had one transfer window and he's already sick and tired of had the tightness of FSG. That's what I keep seeing on Twitter, yeah. Firstly, Julien Ward's been at Liverpool for quite a while, yeah, because he's been working under Michael Edwards for a while. So he knows how Liverpool is run. He knows how FSG are run. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how they run. He knows what they do. So that's just all a bit. I don't really take any notice of that. Do you know what I mean? You know, people going, oh, he's only had one transfer window. You know, he's sick and tired of the tightness of FSG and all that. Now, that's not the case, man. He knows how the club is run. He took the deal. He took the job as sporting director, knowing how the club is run. You know, he didn't go into that job knowing, I think, oh, the club, the John W. Emery's going to be giving me hundreds of millions to spend. It's not a problem. Let's do my thing. Now everyone's talking about data analysts. So saying that Liverpool, so FSG have come out and said their model now doesn't work, which is fair enough. You know, we could all tell FSG that the last year or so. That model's a little bit outdated now. Not a problem with that. But there, I'm going to get into it more in a minute because I think there's more to this story than meets the eye. However, they are confident the continuity which saw him succeed Edwards will again provide them with stability, unprepared by long-term standing senior staff, including Dave Fellows, head of recruitment, and Barry Hunter is the chief scout, who continue to have central roles. The club have began to process to identify which model would be most effective for the future, and the PA News Agency understands manager Jurgen Klopp, who recently extended his contract until 2026, will play a pivotal role in the process, along with Chief Executive Billy Hogan. So Melissa Reddy also tweeted out, worrying developments at Liverpool in critical roles. Mark Edwards' exit was sizable enough. Now his successor, Julien Ward, and Director of Research, Ian Graham. We've got to remember that Ian Graham leaving as well. And he's the man who's in charge of all the data and all the analytics, which a lot of clubs are now copying. Widely viewed as the best in the business, will also depart, all as Mike Gordon takes a step back. Too much change, says Melissa Reddy. Interesting, guys. Interesting. Big up John Conway. Thank you very much for the super chat, as always, my friend. Thank you. Big up Jamie. It's great news. Thank you very much, John Conway. Really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, my friend. Big news coming out of the club then, guys. What do we all think of this? What do we all think? What do we take from this news? In all honesty, what do we actually take from this? Because it's a weird one. I've got to say, it's come out of nowhere. I never heard any inkling that Julien Ward was unhappy at Liverpool and wanted to leave Liverpool. He's obviously going to have a January transfer window. He's only had 2 transfer windows. I'm not having this that he didn't know at FSG run a football club. He worked under Michael Edwards. Let's not forget about this. He didn't come in from the cold. He worked under Michael Edwards for a while. He knows what the club is run like, and he took the job. So we can't just go, everyone on Twitter going mad, going, oh, it's because FSG, they're so stingy and all that, blah, 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 blah. Same rhetoric that's said over and over again because people ain't got enough intelligence to come up with decent arguments. So it's just the same rhetoric all the time. That ain't true. I mean, it's obviously not true because he knows how the club was run. There's something more deeper here. There is something more deeper. The big one, though, is Ian Graham leaving. As I say, Ian Graham is widely viewed as the best around in his role. You know, the analytics and the data side of things in transfers. He's regarded as one of the best around at doing it. Now, a lot of clubs have copied the way we do it. A lot of clubs have started copying the way Liverpool do their analytics, how they do their data, research of players and stuff like that. Look, it was analytics and research from the likes of Ian Graham that got us Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. You know, it was his data and analytics that got us them players. It was his data and analytics that got us Diogo Jota instead of Timo Werner. Now, that's going to be, for me, the bigger miss out of everything. Unless we're coming away from that sort of thing now. Unless Liverpool are coming away from the data and analytic way of doing it, and we're going back to good old scouting, or they're trusting Jurgen Klopp. With his knowledge of players, to be better in the transfer market. What one is it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting to find out. But look, I just don't go on this thing that Julian Ward was totally to blame, man. That FSG were totally to blame for all this stuff. I really don't, because the statement read that FSG. So a lot of people, this is where I'm coming from. So a lot of people were saying this is down to the club being sold. This is down to the club being sold. The problem with that is, right, that FSG in their statement, in the statement that's come out today with all the Ian Graham and Julian Ward leaving the club, is that FSG are shocked and disappointed. Now, being shocked and disappointed means it's come out of nowhere. But it means it's come out of nowhere. They had no inkling of it. They had nothing. They didn't hear any little snippets that they might be leaving and thinking about it. They've had no meetings. To say they're shocked and disappointed means it just happened out of the blue. It just happened. And they told them, obviously, this week. Apparently, this was done a few days ago or a week ago. So they've told them and said, like, you've got to find someone else in the summer. And like, I'm leaving after 12 months. So that can't be down to being sold to the club. It's not like they've spoken to other people that might be buying the football club and gone, right, we ain't going to need Julian Ward. We ain't going to need Ian Graham. You know, we're going to bring our own team in. And they've spoken to them separately before speaking to FSG. I mean, that ain't going to happen, is it? That's not the case at all. It's not the case at all, unfortunately. There is a case of it. Many people might want to hear this. Many people might not want to hear this, but we're going to get to that in 1 second, because it has to be said, guys. The reality and truth of it has to be said. But people won't want to hear it. But it's going to have to be said. I think the club is a sale closer than we all think. My feeling, they've been told already who new owners are and new staff. See, the thing with all this, right, as I'm saying, the thing with all this, the statement FSG said is that they're shocked and disappointed, which tells me this came out of nowhere. Now, has Ian Graham and Julian Ward spoken to new investors before FSG have? When FSG are the ones selling the club? That's the weird thing. The statements we have to read, you know. I look at people on Twitter talking about stuff and like, did you read all the statement? You've got to read all the statement. You have to read every paragraph. Don't just take the snippets that people put out and put it on Twitter and just read that snippet and read it all, man. They were shocked and surprised at this. Now, to me, that tells me they weren't knowing this. They had no knowledge of this happening. They had no, because I don't think FSG are selling the football club personally. So, it's a weird one. Great excuse. Everybody, hope that doesn't mean we would be in a shambles. Clearly, we've got a deal in place. The new owners want their own man in charge of transfers. Yeah, but again, as I said, while the statement come out, it said we're shocked and surprised. That's the weird thing about it. He knows there's an iceberg coming in his championship to save himself, says Patman. Big up to Patman. 6 times says new owners are close, in my opinion. Ian Graham leaving us is good for us. Yeah, the Ian Graham stuff. Look, the Ian Graham stuff is like, big up Imran. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? The Ian Graham stuff's a different kettle of fish altogether. You know, if we're going away from the data program, if we're coming away from that data program and analyst program, and we're taking a more on scouting approach to players, fine. I don't mind. It's not actually an issue. That's not actually an issue. That's not actually an issue. If it is just all about new ownership coming in, and new owners are coming in, and new owners are coming in and taking over, fine, cool. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I think there's just more to it than we than we think at the moment. No, we can't. No, the model's done. There's no doubt about it. I agree. Look, everyone with the model stuff, I agree, guys. Look, everyone knows that I'm not the biggest FSG hater. I know everyone wants them out and stuff like that. I'm actually not too. I'm not going. Go to a protest with a banner saying FSG out. You know what I mean? I'm not there. I'm not like that. Do I think they need to leave now? Yeah, but if they're hanging around for a little while, I ain't really bothered. Ain't gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? But their models, even they've come out with a statement today saying their model needs to change. Their model needs to change, and it does. They can't compete with the model anymore. There is no doubt about it. Selling assets to buy assets at this moment in time don't work anymore. If you want to compete with City, if you want to compete with PSG, if you want to compete with Chelsea, if you want to compete with Man United, if you want to compete with Real Madrid, and eventually Newcastle. To do that, you can't be really having the model where you have to sell your assets to buy assets. You want to keep assets and buy assets to it. You know what I mean? You don't you don't want to sell everyone who's got a bit of value just so you can buy players. That can't happen no more. We've gone past that now. We have gone past that. I hope you're good, Jamie. I think he's going because the new owners want their own people in. I mean, do we even know this club? Do we even know Liverpool are close to being sold? But big up, Naz. Big up to you. What if the club's not sold for 2 years? What if the club's not sold for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, and we still got FSG in charge? Then what then? Why did he leave then? This is my thing. I mean, everyone's saying it's because of new owners. It's because of new owners. Now, usually what I've seen, when new owners come into some places, they have meetings with all the staff first. Usually keep them on for a little while because they want to see how they run a ship. And then they're like, right, we don't actually need you, off you go. I've never seen it where they all leave before new owners even come in. I've never seen it. I've never seen and as far as I'm concerned, at this moment in time, FSG ain't even spoke to anyone about selling the club yet. There might be parties that are involved. I know Saudi Arabia. Is it the Prince of Saudi Arabia had an interview today with it? Is it Dan Rowan on ITV? Basically saying that, yeah, we want to own Man United and Liverpool. I mean, he's saying he doesn't mind if one Saudi group owns Man United and one Saudi group owns Liverpool. He's like, yeah, we're up for that. We want to do it. That doesn't mean they've actually spoken to anyone at Liverpool. I can say a lot of things. Doesn't mean I've done it. Do you know what I mean? So we got to be careful with this rhetoric, because if FSG are still here in 12 months' time, then why did these people leave? Why did these people leave? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. There's only one thing, the reason why they left. And we're going to get to that in a minute, because I can guarantee you right now, once I start talking about this, all of you are not going to agree with it. Some of you might agree with it, and some of you might have a go at me about it. But in all honesty, we're going to have to tell the truth, and we're going to have to start speaking in facts here. We'll get to it in a minute. Unless they've heard Saudi is looking to take over and they want out. But the thing is, though, right, what everyone keeps telling me is that FSG way of doing things is the wrong way, and it's all about money, money, money. So why would Julien Ward want to leave when he's about to come into shitloads of money? If he's about to come into shitloads of money, why would they let him leave? Who are they going to get? As I keep saying, if, say, a Saudi group took over Liverpool, yeah, which I don't think is going to happen, but say a Saudi group took over Liverpool, yeah, tomorrow, right? They would still want Julien Ward and Jurgen Klopp and all that there to see what they do. They'd want to know how the day-to-day running of the football club is. They don't know how the day-to-day running of a football club is from all the way over there without no knowledge. If I'm going to buy a business, I want the people who know how to run that business to tell me what they're doing. And then you take your time, You work out who's worth keeping and who's ready to let go. And then you get your men in, you get your women in. Whoever you need to get in, you get in to do that job. You scour the whole of Europe, the whole of the world, because you've got unlimited wealth. And you go, right, now Julian Ward's done all right, but I want this guy from Monaco. Let's get the guy from Monaco in. Let's get him to take over Julien Ward. So we're going to Monaco and paying compensation. Thank you very much, Julien Ward. But after your time, we're going to get him in to replace you. And that's how you do it. You don't just go, oh, we've had a talk and we're leaving. It just don't make sense to me. That don't make business sense at all. You know, everyone keeps saying, oh, we need, like, the money's coming in, the money's coming in, the money's coming in. You know, so if that's the case, then why is he leaving? Why is he leaving? Klopp having more of a say on transfers makes me very happy, more than you can believe. Batman, that's what we're going to get to in a minute. Another FSG or FSG Plus won't work. It's all about the money. Can FSG just come out and say we are effed instead of bullshitting us? I fear that they're giving Klopp too much control. Sounds like Arsene Wenger. I don't know, to be fair. You've seen the owners and Jude news. Yeah, new owners incoming. They want their own guy to spend their billions. Who's their guy, though? Who's their guy? So if this is the case, who's their guy? You know, who's their guy? Someone tell me who their guy is. I guess Nunes and Diaz were Klopp signings. Yeah, definitely. I think we already been sold, Jamie. The new owners will be on the start of next season. They will have their own people in. I mean, hopefully, Naz. Look, I'm with you. I think, as I keep saying, it's time for FSG to go. We do need to start this club again. Well, not again. We don't need to start from scratch or anything. It's not a massive improvement this club needs. You know, new money coming in, and we're fine. I'm with you. I totally agree. I hope you're right, man. I actually hope you're right, Naz, that, you know, new owners coming at the beginning of the season. I just don't see it. And that's why I wake up tomorrow and I see more news that there's a potential sale. All I'm seeing and hearing from FSG at the moment is that they don't want to sell the football club. That's all I'm hearing. You know, they talk about, yeah, Liverpool's up for sale, FSG's up for, we're selling Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are ready to go. We're selling Liverpool. We are letting go of our main asset. We want 2.75 billion, the same as Chelsea got sold for. It's like a quick sale, yeah? Now, that's fine. Go for it. Get your money and leave. You know what I mean? Go. But could take 12 months. Could take 12 months. Could take 6 months. Could take 6 weeks from now. It could be done tomorrow. I don't know. No one knows. But all these big executives leaving the football club is a bit weird. You know, we know Mike Gordon. Mike Gordon left. You know, got promoted into a role where he's looking at, you know, selling assets of the football club, which, you know, he's just moved up in the world. Billy Hogan, they want to keep around. Billy Hogan ain't going nowhere. He's becoming CEO. FSG love him. He don't want to go anywhere. So he's taken over Mike Gordon's role, which tells me FSG ain't going nowhere for a while. And then them in shock and upset at the fact that Julian Ward's leaving after 12 months in charge. Certain guy got a lot of power in his new contract. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? A certain guy got a lot of power in his new contract, man. Wall got sacked, but who sacked him? Says Red Sea. Big up, Red Sea. How you doing? Wall got sacked. Did he get sacked? Is that what people were saying there? I mean, that's mad if he got sacked. What did Anthony share with me? Oh, the Saudi Arabia thing. Yeah, I'll look at that in a minute. I mean, if he got sacked, that's just mad. I mean, why is he getting sacked? I mean, it's nothing for him to get sacked about. He did a good job. It's a weird one. There's two possibilities. Either Klopp's been given total control of transfers and is stepping on his toes, or new owners are close and they've indicated they want their own people. I hope it's the second one, but I've got a feeling it's the first one. I hoping it's the second thing you said there, that the owners are close to selling and they want their new people, but I've just got a feeling it's the first one. I think it's the first one. Michael Edwards left. Are we going to start talking about that? Two sporting directors in the last 12 months have decided to leave their job. Since a certain man got more power in his contract and signed a brand new contract and had more power, two sporting directors have both left their job. Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I mean, if this was any other football club, this is what I say to you guys. There's my kids in the background. If this was any other football club, right, and say this was, I don't know, Chelsea, right, and their new manager signed a brand new contract that gave him a little bit more power in the transfer market and to do what he wanted to do with it, yeah, gave him a little bit more power in the transfer market where he could do what he wanted. But in that time, two sporting directors left the football club. In that same time, he got a brand new contract. What would we all say as Liverpool fans? Looking at that, we'll go, your manager's obviously stepping on toes, man. Your manager's obviously stepping on toes over there. Not letting the sporting directors do his job. But because it's Liverpool and because it's Jurgen Klopp, we don't want to say that. We don't want to say that. I can guarantee you right now, if we all sat here right now, and Chelsea, I can guarantee all of you in the chat right now, if a Chelsea manager signed a brand new contract that gave him more powers in the transfer market, right, and more powers to be more on transfers and contracts and all that, and within that same time, two sporting directors decided to leave their job in that same time, we'd all be saying, wow, what's the manager doing over there? Why has two sporting directors left? Right? We'd all be pointing fingers at the manager at that rival club. But because it's our club and because we all absolutely adore Jurgen Klopp like I do, like we all do, we won't blame him for nothing. Come on. Let's have a grown-up conversation here, guys. Let's have a grown-up conversation about this. It can't be just a coincidence. It really can't. It really can't. Look, am I hoping that the club is already sold up in some kind of way, and all these are leaving because new person just wants to come in with his own guys and stuff like that? I'd be fine with that, man. Cool. Awesome. Let's move. Let's go. Don't know. James Liverpool will be sold in 2023. Well, I mean, it could be December 2023, couldn't it? Which is a year away. Remember, maybe he got sacked for Arthur. Oh, we'll get to the Arthur stuff. A new structure. We need a new structure. 6 times. You're bang on, man. We need a new structure at the football club. There's no doubt about that. Very strange. FSG have barely changed anything in the 12 years besides Edwards and Buvac. That suggests to be a very different approach. So, Buvac leaves. Buvac left Liverpool. He left because of Jurgen Klopp. He didn't leave because of the ownership. Buvac left because of Jurgen Klopp. Yeah? Pep Linders came in. Everyone's favourite villain at the moment. Why? I don't know. I don't know why everyone thinks Pep Linders has powers at Liverpool and has the power to do this and the power to do that. He's the assistant manager. If he's talking out of turn and he has got some power at the football club where he can go, right, I want this player, I want that player. Jurgen Klopp's his boss. Yeah? Pep Linders goes to him in the morning and every day at training and says, hello, boss. You don't go, mate, all right, how you doing, fella? No, it's all right, boss. He's his boss. So if that's the case, Jurgen shouldn't be giving Pep Linders that power to do that, should he? That shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening. Now, Pep Linders was a scout for Liverpool one time. He was the one who scouted Andy Robinson. And look at the... So maybe that is what Klopp's making him do. Maybe Klopp is going to Pep Linders and going, look, you know some of these players in certain areas in the country, in your world, like Portugal and stuff like that. Go and check them out for me. Let me know what you think. I trust you. And you're one of my closest, so I trust you. Come back, let me know what you say. And we'll go from there. Now, are Pep Linders and Klopp too close in all this? It's another thing. Are Pep Linders and Jurgen Klopp too close on the whole thing? You know, should they be this close when it comes about transfers and contracts? That's another thing. That's another thing. Do you know what I mean? And if they are, then surely they shouldn't be. Takeover is much closer than we think. Hopefully, Michael. Hopefully, man. I agree with you. I'm hoping it's much closer than we think. But I know a lot of people are saying Liverpool gets sold in 2023, but don't tell you what month. It could be October 2023, which is 10 months away, or 11 months away, or whatever it is. You know, it's almost a year away, put it that way. So, could be that. It's... Hopefully, it's quick. No, hopefully we can have new ownership before the start of next season, so they have a summer transfer market to buy the new fresh players in that we desperately need. Love that. I absolutely love that. I don't know if that's the case. I think FSG want investors. I think they want to still keep some of the pie. You know what I mean? I think they still want to keep a little bit of the pie. I don't think anyone would have better leverage than Klopp. A lot of managers don't use sport directors. To be honest, I prefer Jurgen doing it or a new team. I'm not all on that analytic stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean with the analytic stuff, but look, if we didn't have analytics, Julian Brandt would be a Liverpool player and Mo Salah wouldn't. Timo Werner would be a Liverpool player and Jota wouldn't. Who's the geezer we wanted in Sadio instead of Sadio Mane? Can't remember now. Another German player we wanted instead of Sadio Mane. Alisson wouldn't be here right now. We'd still probably be going with Karius. So there's a 50-50 on it. So do I trust everyone Jurgen Klopp wants to buy into the football club? We've got to say that now as well. We've got to say that because Jurgen Klopp wanted Julien Brandt. He didn't want Mo Salah. He wanted Julien Brandt. He didn't want Jota at first. He wanted Timo Werner. He was doing Skype calls with Timo Werner every day to get him into Liverpool Football Club. Yeah? He wanted Timo Werner. He wanted Julien Brandt. You know, they're nowhere near. They're nowhere near good enough. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'd rather have Jota and Mo Salah in a heartbeat. And that was down to the analytics side of the team. So, I'm with you. It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one, but I'm hoping you're right. Look, I hope you're all right, to be honest. Too many staff leaving, especially with us up for sale. That is further down the line. Yeah, I just never heard of anyone selling a full bunch of staff when they sell. Don't need to either. It's not like the company is already trademark and registered. You know, there's a price on the company. You don't need to let go of assets to sell the company to make it cheaper. There's a thing. Forbes has Liverpool rated at 4.5 billion. Yeah, with all their assets. Yeah, why would they not want to sell for 4.5 billion? Now they're saying they're going to sell for 2.75. So what is there? It's a 2 billion worth of investment. Julien Ward and Ian Graham. I mean, come on. I mean, don't make sense, man. Don't make sense. We're all reading a lot into this. In reality, it could be 1,000 things. Most of the time, if you give in your notice all of a sudden means you're covering up for a sacking. Yeah, but who sacked him? That's the thing. I mean, why would Julian Ward be sacked? He had a decent transfer window. It weren't his fault he couldn't get the players he wanted. It weren't his fault he couldn't get the players he wanted. Julien Ward wanted to have the players. You know, Jurgen Klopp wanted Tuchemeni, yeah? He wanted Tuchemeni, yeah? Which, obviously, why wouldn't you, right? Tuchemeni decided he wanted to go to Real Madrid. So everyone remembers it was Champions League final day, and the rumours are going around Champions League final day that Tuchemeni wanted either to go to Liverpool or Real Madrid, yeah? And he said he'd make his mind up after the Champions League final. Right. So Real Madrid won the Champions League. Tuchemeni went to Real Madrid. Right. So then Klopp was like, right, my number 2 choice is Jude Bellingham. Let's get Jude Bellingham. Now, Borussia Dortmund have already said there was an English team that kept pestering them for Jude Bellingham, and we had to keep telling them, no. It was obviously Liverpool that kept him for Julian Bellingham. Jude Bellingham was not available this summer. So after Tuchemeni and after Jude Bellingham, are you telling me there was no other midfielder in Europe we could buy to come in? So obviously money is there. Now, this is the thing I've had an argument with people on Twitter with already. I've had an argument with people on Twitter already about this today. So everyone's going, we obviously haven't got no money. That is why we didn't buy a midfielder. That's why we got $500,000. You know, the normal, I don't do my homework kind of research, and I just believe everything that goes against FSG because I haven't got 2 bobs to put together. Right. Bollocks. Liverpool have money. Turned over 500 million in revenue, for goodness sake. Liverpool have money. They can afford to go out and buy a midfielder. Secondly, Jurgen Klopp did an interview with the Anfield Wrap talking about what midfielders we need. Because they brought it up to him. You've seen the news. Liverpool need a midfielder. Our midfield's getting aging. We need different players. And Jurgen Klopp went through all the players in our midfield and went, and tell me where I can get better. Tell me where I can get better. Yeah? And the guys at Anfield Wrap just laughed along with him like, yeah, you're right, Jurgen, yeah. Right? And then a few weeks later, Jurgen admits in a press conference, I was wrong. I was wrong. We definitely need a midfielder. But, and everyone keeps forgetting this. So when Jurgen said it and went, right, we need a midfielder, everyone was like, right, we're on the warpath now. We're going to get every midfielder in Europe, right? Not like, so your manager has come out on national TV, worldwide TV, and said, I was wrong. We need a midfielder. So then Julien Ward's like, well, anyone I talk to now to get a midfielder in, I'll go up the price. I'll go double their prices because they know Liverpool need a midfielder. So we've gave our cards away. So now we've gone, right, so you've said that on telly, Jurgen, and now you want me to now go and get you a midfielder in. Everyone I talk to now is going to be like, well, that's double the money. I know you desperately, you want him. You want Caicedo, do you? Yeah, that's 85 million. That is the price tag now on Caicedo that Brighton put on his head, by the way. That is why we didn't buy him in the summer, because they wanted 85 million because we opened our gob saying we were wrong and desperately needed a midfielder. What is Julien Ward meant to do? In all seriousness, what is Julien Ward meant to do? What is Julien Ward meant to do? We can't, you go, right, your manager comes out and goes, I was wrong. We need a midfielder. So, Yen, your sporting director who's in charge of buying players is like, oh, crap. Well, who am I going to buy? Because you've just told the world we need one. So anywhere I go now, is this. We go to places like Real Madrid and ask for Valverde. Like Real Madrid, I'll go and let Valverde go 2 weeks before the transfer deadline. Also, how much would he bloody cost? Valverde's probably £100 million midfielder. right? And that's before Real Madrid realised we need a midfielder. Put 10, 20 million extra on top of that for Real Madrid. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. There's fault everywhere here. There is fault. There is fault everywhere. We can't just keep blaming one people all the time. We can't just keep going, right, it's all FSG's fault. It's all the owners' fault. Everything the owners are doing are wrong. Yeah? And everything Jurgen Klopp doing is completely right. That's not your manager comes out and talks to a massive Liverpool YouTube channel, yeah? You got Redmen TV and the Anfield Wrap. They're probably the two biggest, right? Who have influence, right? And he talks about it and goes, we don't need a midfielder. And if we did need a midfielder, who are we going to get? You know, I've got Ox. I've got Harvey Elliott. I've got Curtis Jones. I've got Henderson. Everyone heard this. Everyone heard this. Everybody, yeah? Then there's money to spend. Because obviously there's money to spend. Because we tried to buy Tuchemeni in the summer. We got Darwin Núñez. And then they went to Borussia Dortmund and asked for Jude Bellingham. Borussia Dortmund have already said there was a certain English team that never leave us alone about Borussia for Jude Bellingham. And Liverpool's the only one that I know really went in for Jude Bellingham in the summer. So obviously Liverpool had money. Liverpool obviously had money to go and get someone like that, right? So we obviously had money. Now, with all this stuff going on as well, I've been saying this for a while. Jurgen Klopp Jurgen Klopp has brought us some of the greatest times ever as a Liverpool fan. We can never, ever, ever, ever forget that. Jurgen Klopp has brought us some of the greatest ever times as a Liverpool fan. But he didn't do it on his own. Right? We got to stop thinking Klopp did this on his own. We've got to stop thinking that. Yes, he was the manager. He was the man in charge. His genius won us the Premier League and Champions League and all that and gave us his amazing times, yeah? But he didn't do it on his own. FSG were part of that as well. They all did it together. Now, people might not like this, yeah? People might not like this. We have won every trophy there is to win, yeah? Under the guidance of Jurgen Klopp and under the guidance and ownership of FSG. People might not like to hear that, yeah? He didn't have Mike Ashley in charge of him. Yeah, so you're telling me, oh, Jurgen Klopp does miracles, man. Jurgen Klopp does miracles. He doesn't do miracles. What he did was win the league and he won the Premier League and Champions League when we had an amazing squad. We had an amazing squad, by the way, that basically for 2 years never got injured. I'd expect us to win the Premier League with that squad we had. Never getting injured for 2 years. The squad we had, I'd expect our club to win the Premier League, the Champions League, because we had a great, great squad. You look at all the squads around Europe at the time. For that 2 years, Liverpool had one of the best. No doubt about it. Look at the players. You talk to a lot of Liverpool fans, and Liverpool fans will go, Liverpool got probably the best 11 in Europe when they're all fit. You know, especially when we won the Premier League and Champions League. Let's go back to then. When Liverpool won the Premier League and Champions League, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying Liverpool probably had the strongest 11 in Europe at the time, right? So if that's the case, that's because we bought the right players. We bought the right players. We got Alisson in. You got a Virgil in. You got a Mo in. You got a Mane in. You got a Bobby in. You know, you got a Fabinho. You got a Wijnaldum. You got a Matip. You got a Robbo, Trent from the academy. Yeah. So Klopp didn't do it all on his own. He's not a miracle worker. He's just excellent at his job. He's just a world-class manager who had a world-class team. Now, a miracle, I'll tell you what a miracle would be, is if we won the league this year with the players we got right now. That would be a miracle. That would be a miracle. They work together beautifully. Jurgen Klopp has gave us some of the greatest times in our Liverpool lives. There's no doubt about that. But he didn't do it on his own. He didn't do it on his own. There's nothing wrong with saying that, guys. Honestly, there's nothing wrong in saying that. You know, we can't just be like, oh, Jurgen did this, Jurgen did that. Yes, of course. Of course, but he didn't do it on his own at the end of the day. Now, I don't mind if you guys don't want to agree with me. That's fine, man. Football's all about debate. It's all about debate. I don't mind you guys don't agree with me. I'm cool with that. I can be on me. I don't know. I know some people agree with me in the chat, and some people won't agree with me in the chat, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I really am. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. You know. But as I said, Jurgen Klopp has gave us some of the greatest times in our Liverpool life. I don't even want him to leave. I never want Klopp to leave. I want Klopp to stay forever. I love the man. As I keep saying, I've never met Jurgen Klopp. I love him like my dad. Do you know what I mean? I worship him. I love him. But he is human at the end of the day, and he will make mistakes. I think there's too many Liverpool fans that are more Klopp fans than Liverpool fans. And they just won't acknowledge that Klopp has made mistakes sometimes. Klopp has made mistakes this summer. Jurgen Klopp has made mistakes this summer. There's no doubt about it. Jurgen Klopp has made mistakes this summer. He's admitted he made mistakes. And we just move on. He's admitted he made mistakes. We move on. There ain't a problem with it. I'm not so fussed as a lot of people are about the ownership. I never have been. Look, I've always sort of been an FSG in kind of guy. Always have been. I've always been that kind of guy. I've always been that sort of like, I don't think the owners are all that bad. I think they do a lot of good. They got to a certain part of it. They got us so far with Jurgen, but from then on, they can't really do it no more. So they need to sell the football club. It is exactly the right time for Liverpool selling the football club. I agree. FSG are now the right time where they are at the club to sell the football club. I agree. FSG need to move on, let fresh money come in that can invest on the playing team. I am 100% agreeing with everybody on that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not going to look at the past and just go, they were shit. Full stop. Yes, they made mistakes. Like the worst one they did for me was copyrighting the name Liverpool. You can't do that because if they left Liverpool Football Club, when FSG sold Liverpool Football Club, they'd own the names to Liverpool Football Club. So in other words, Liverpool wouldn't be able to be called Liverpool because FSG would own the name. Right? That's the worst thing they've ever done, in my opinion. That's awful. Ticket price rises. Everyone who owns a football club rises tickets, raises everything. I'm not surprised that. The furloughing of staff, we act like FSG were the only company in the world that furloughed staff in a pandemic. Richard Branson furloughed staff. Alan Sugar furloughed. Every businessman, businesswoman, mega rich superstar, whatever, furloughed staff. So we all acting like FSG were the only ones. When the government come out and say, right, we'll pay this for anyone who wants to be furloughed, then if you're a business, you're like, well, we might as well furlough them in. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just you just got to be careful in all this. Helping build up Liverpool. Now, I know people will go, oh, it weren't FSG's money to help build up Liverpool. At the end of the day, they're the owners and they built up Anfield. Don't care where the money came from, who paid for it, what paid for it. They built up Anfield. We didn't move stadium. We got from next season, we got a 62,000 all-seater stadium, yeah? Tremendous. I'm happy with that. They're starting to do a bit of work outside the stadium, make it look a bit prettier, because let's not forget, Hicks and Gillette completely ruined the area of Liverpool outside the stadium by buying up all the houses around there because they said they were going to expand the stadium and they needed to knock down all them houses and they were going to expand the stadium and build like shops and businesses and stuff like that around the area. So they bought up all the houses around the area, around Anfield, because anyone who knows who's been to Liverpool, Anfield is in the middle of a city. It's in the middle of a town. It's in the middle of a bloody estate. There's houses that are around it. Their back gardens go onto Anfield. It's crazy. And Hicks and Gillette bought all that up. And the problem is they never knocked it down. So a lot of houses around Anfield are derelict. Yeah. And it looks a bit bad. So that needs sorting. AXA. Look, we've got an AXA training ground. We moved training ground to Kirby. Got a brand new AXA training ground. State-of-the-art training ground, yeah? So if you look at Man United with the Glazers, their stadium's falling apart. Ronaldo has basically told you everything about the Man United behind the scenes in his interview with Piers Morgan, that the stadium's falling apart, the training ground is shite, and it's exactly the same as it was 13 years ago when he was last there. The jacuzzi's mouldy, the swimming pool's rotten, the showers are exactly the same. Everything's terrible behind there, right? Not updated Carrington, not updated Old Trafford, yeah? Just left it in the rot. At least we updated our stadium, moved training grounds, built a brand new one. Now, did they pay for it? Probably not, but they were still in charge of doing it. So what I'm trying to say is we can't act like they're shit all the time. Have they invested enough money into the football club on the playing pitch? No. And it is time for them to move on because of that. But Jurgen's also takes some blame as well, guys. We have to look at Jurgen at the same time. We can't just all sit here and go, yeah, Jurgen did nothing wrong. Jurgen did nothing wrong. And we got to be looking at it and think we lost 2 sporting directors since Jurgen Klopp signed his new deal that gave him extra powers. For me, that ain't a coincidence. Just not. It's just not. Apparently, FSG and Klopp knew this break-in even approaches and working and want to spend more in the windows, but we have to wait and see. Yeah. And Jurgen, before the World Cup broke up, was very enthusiastic in his press conferences about us buying in January. When the question was asked to him, he was very enthusiastic about us buying in January, which shows there is money at the club. I understand their way of doing things is over. Moneyball is a thing of the past. Exactly. I agree. FSG have done a lot of good, but we need to spend a lot more to stay competitive now. It's sad, but either we do or we don't. I agree, Red Sea. I absolutely agree with you. FSG did an okay job, but they know they can't compete anymore, so give some respect for selling the club. Yeah, exactly. Look, if FSG thought they could compete at a level still financially with all the top teams, they wouldn't sell the football club because they'd make money off Liverpool Football Club still. No matter what, if FSG are just in it for the profits of owning Liverpool Football Club to make money, then they wouldn't ever sell Liverpool Football Club. But if they know they can't afford to put assets on the pitch anymore, they can't afford to invest in playing staff anymore to compete at the highest end to win major honours, then Liverpool aren't going to be successful. So if Liverpool aren't going to be successful, it's better to sell now. So we got to sort of think like, well, at least they're doing the right thing. At least they're doing the right thing and actually selling the football club. The Jude news is getting better too. I've been saying it for a while. Jude Bellingham will be a Liverpool player. Scouting would help improving our academy. Maybe the FSG's model was keeping a pause on that. Klopp and Linders are all for giving academy players a chance. Yeah, our Cameron. I've been talking about our academy for a while now. Our academy is shockingly bad, and it needs improving. If you look at all our best academy players, they were basically trained at other academies. So if you look at Harvey Elliott, who's only 18, 19, he basically got trained at Fulham. Brewster, you go back a few years, Chelsea, he was basically a Chelsea youth. Raheem Sterling was from QPR. Carvalho, Fulham. If you look at all our best youngsters in our team, all our best youngsters, apart from Trent, pretty much came from other academies. I think Joe Gomez, Charlton. Trent's the only one. We haven't really had anyone break through our academy that we've had since kids and grown in the academy and brought through. Our academy needs sorting out, man. It's the trash. Trash. Big up, Joyce. Michael, how you doing, man? I don't think FSG was shocked or disappointed. We all know how secretive our owners are. What else would they say? Agree, Jamie. The future owners of a business have no say over the current structure of that business. Question: if we sit on our morals and Saudi by Man United, we're unable to compete even with new owners. The thing, right? I've been seeing this thing about Man United to go become unstoppable with like when they sell to a Dubai company or a Saudi or something like that and become state owned. Don't Man United spend 200 million every summer anyway? So what's going to change? Man United spend more than Man City, and Man City have more money than Man United. Man United have spent more money than Man City over the last few years, and City have unlimited wealth. So what's really going to change if United sell up? I don't think nothing much. Man United bought in Ronaldo, Casemiro, and Varane in one transfer window. Varane and Casemiro, and Ronaldo in what is it? One transfer window or two transfer windows? Can't remember now. Right? And Anthony, Casemiro, Varane, and Ronaldo. Yeah, they brought all them in without being state owned. So what difference is it going to make? United buy these players anyway. They spend 200 million every summer anyway. They spend what is his name? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer spent more money than Pep Guardiola in the time he was at Man United. So what difference is that going to make if they're state owned on the playing field? It'll make no difference. They're still buying the same players. They don't have the same players. That's all it is. They don't have the same. They'll have exactly the same players. So if Man United was state owned right now, they would go and buy a Varane, a Ronaldo, a Casemiro, and an Anthony, who they've already bought. So I don't see why everyone's so worried if Man United get taken over. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. They get taken over. They're still buying the same amount of players. They've bought Angel Di Maria's. They've bought Ruud van Nistelrooy's in their time in the Premier League. They bought Veron. When they were in the Premier League. Going back to Alex Ferguson years. They've always bought the best players. Wayne Rooney's, Van Persie's. They've always bought the best players available around the world without being state owned. So nothing really changes. The only thing that changes is that if they're state owned, they'll probably get a brand new stadium and a brand new training ground. That's the only thing that's going to change, man. The only thing that's going to change. So I won't worry too much all that. Now, if Liverpool gets state owned, it's different because we don't buy them players, and we'll be able to buy them players. So it'll be totally different. That's why people will be more worried. I think that's why rivals are more worried for Liverpool getting sold than Man United. Because I spoke to a lot of rivals about this. Some Chelsea fans, some Arsenal fans. They all say the same thing. They already buy these players, So what difference is it going to make if they get bought out and state owned? The problem is, as they all keep saying, the rivals keep saying, is if Liverpool gets state owned, because they don't buy them kind of players, they will be able to buy them kind of players, and that's trouble for everyone. Is it that possible that ain't there a conflict of interest for them to own us and United? It's not the same people, it's just the country. So the country would own Liverpool, Man United, but it'd be totally, different organisations, different people, different owners sort of thing. But I think that's going to happen eventually. I think these Dubai groups, these Saudi groups, the Qatar groups, I think a lot of them are going to own top-end football teams in the next 10 years. I really do. Next 10 to 20 years, you could see a lot of these big sides all being owned by these groups. So there's going to always be a conflict of interest. But look, at the end of the day, UEFA and the leagues don't care as long as they're getting paid. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, definitely, Joyce. If Apple did buy United, I'm smashing up my iPhone. Red Sea, you should smash up your iPhone anyway and get rid of it because it's an iPhone and they're shit. I'm only joking. I reckon it's been in the pipeline for months before even fans expected. In my opinion, they could have been told a while back and would leave. That's another prospect, yeah. If you hear your employer say we need to change our model, you doubt your role at the club if you're Ian Graham and Ward. If you hear your employer say we need to change our model, yeah, but if they want to change their model, right, the Ian Graham one, I'd understand, yeah. But the Julian Ward one, I wouldn't. He's still a sporting director. It wouldn't matter what model came in. He would still be in charge of buying and selling people and giving people new contracts. So, in fact, if he's got even more money and he doesn't have to worry about selling assets to buy assets, then his job's made easier, if anything. It's like, all right, Julian, here's the rules. You got 200 million every summer, man. You got 200 million pound every summer. That is your transfer budget. Every single summer, you've got 200 million. And in January, if we need players, you'll get the money. Right. So from there on, you've got to scout the world for the best players because that's how much money you've got available every year. It's just made easier, man. It's just made easier. At the moment, he goes into a meeting beginning of every season and goes, right, Julian, our budget is 60 million. That's our transfer budget. Jurgen has said we need about 4 players in. See what you can do. If you can only get 2 players, let's get 2 players and then 2 youth players that don't cost too much. Anything else you need, we'll have to try and sell some assets. Now that is a harder job. That'd be like, if I was Julian Ward, I'd be like, fucking hell, that's hard, man. That's graft. And if you're telling me the other one is like, right, Julian, 200 million every single summer, all yours, man. Go and find the best. He'd be like, wait, right, here we go. And I have final say. Here we go. Here we go. And I don't need to sell anyone before I buy anyone. Here we go. So that don't make sense to me, man. Don't make sense to me. Why would they announce he's leaving next season? They know people will speculate. I think if we did get sold, I think it's going to another American group. So do I. He don't have the experience. Maybe they're putting his wages towards Mbappe's. Oh, God. Imagine if Musk brought us, then sacked Klopp on the first. Oh, man. Yeah, that's another thing. We're like, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of the worst businessmen I've ever seen in my life. Twitter runs well, yeah. Obviously, it don't run particularly well because a lot of trolls faceless faces can go on there and racially abuse people and call people horrible things, and there's no thing against them, yeah, right? But Elon Musk goes in there and Twitter almost went down, completely finished season for business, in like a week of him owning it. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure if Elon Musk is the best businessman in the world. More negative Liverpool news at FC. I've checked out Liverpool LFC completely, fully enjoy the World Cup and really CBA with Liverpool right now. Big up Trudon. Did he do a good job? He let Mane go for 25, 30 million. He had no choice but to let Mane go for that price because Michael Edwards bought Thiago for that price. That's the problem. Thiago got sold to Liverpool for 25 million when really Bayern Munich could have asked a little bit more, but Michael Edwards got them down to 25 million and they had their hands tied behind their back, so they sold Thiago. Now, Bayern Munich wanted the gesture back from Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool wanted to sell Thiago Mane between 25 and 30 million. I always said I can't believe we never got 50 million for Mane at least. But I think Liverpool had their hands tied behind their back because Mane wanted to leave. Mane made no bones about it. Mane's been wanting to leave Liverpool for 2 seasons. And then he thought, right, this is my chance to leave. He wanted a fresh start. He weren't going to stay. Liverpool offered him a brand new contract. He didn't want the new contract. He wanted to leave the football club. So Liverpool were looking for people for him to go to. The only place Sadio Mane wanted to go was Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich wanted Sadio Mane. We had our hands tied behind our back because the Michael Edwards deal with Thiago. So we had no choice but to let Mane go for cheap. Simple as that. Have we managed to get in a club doctor? We have got a club doctor. There's this myth that we haven't got a club doctor, which is not true. We do have a club doctor. He's just not got the title. So put it this way: there is a doctor at Liverpool Football Club. Yeah, Liverpool Football Club just not have given them the title of doctor yet. He is a doctor. He's doing the work, right? He is a club doctor. Liverpool have just not gave him the title club doctor yet. So it is a bit of a myth that we haven't got a doctor. Jamie, I'm with you. I feel Klopp is the reason. Chelsea got 100 million for Hazard with a year left on his deal. Yeah, but it's like I mean, I'm well behind the chat 6 times, but it's like I just said with the Thiago thing. Edwards was going before Klopp's new contract. I thought it is just 100 events coincidence. Hopefully, Levi. Hopefully, Klopp has 100% nothing to do with this. My guy, I got my sources. Levi, let me know your sources. DM me your sources. Seems like Liverpool is in crisis, but quietly behind a well-built smoke screen. Klopp could be turning into a politician at club, but we have a problem with a state-run club. Does that not sit well with me? I don't know. No more sell to buy stuff. None of that. Buvac left because his wife wanted to move to New Zealand. Well, they must have split up then because Buvac got a job in Europe. So if that's the case, they must have split up because didn't Buvac get a job in Europe? I swear he got a job in Europe. So they must have split up. It is his mentality, Jamie. He has a mentality for Everton. He's on the wrong side of the Merseyside club. Pep Linda. Transfer to Shambo's buying ninja players. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Let's get, I think 6 times, and Red Sea have had a little disagreement. Everton also trying to sell on the D low, the down low. If Uruguay get beat next game, they're out. I think Nunes go to buy. We're getting money, people. There is no use for a will and dealing merchants at Liverpool anymore. That's why they are leaving. Fact, keep it level. I hope you're right, my friend. I hope you're right. Harry read that would have been FSG's perfect manager. Do you reckon? Yeah, wheeler dealer. But Thiago's made of glass and Mane was made of steel. Yeah. Unfortunately, we did a deal. Hazard also went to Real Madrid and Chelsea still got 100 million. Yeah. But we did that Thiago deal where we shouldn't have done it, really. I think Naby has been given the doctor's job. Oh, good thing Naby's leaving, isn't it? Hey, 6 times you post the Liverpool site. I definitely see protests either way when the new owners are announced. Loads of fans won't be happy with state-owned or more Americans. No, it's going to be well split, man. It's going to be well split down the middle. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing. There's going to be people on this side who don't want state ownership that will protest. And there's going to be people on this side that don't want Americans and protest. And there's going to be people like me who couldn't give a shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Couldn't give a toss. As long as money is being invested into our football team that we can buy certain players, I'm going to sleep happy. Couldn't give a nut shit. Couldn't give a shit, man. Couldn't give a monkey's ass about any of it. I really couldn't. But yeah, look, is it worrying times? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens at the football club. Let's see what she Saudi government ready to back private bids to buy Man United and Liverpool, say the Daily Telegraph. Wow. Okay then. Hang on. Let me read this for a minute. With 2 English football clubs up for sale, the Premier League could see Significant interest from the Middle East. Wow. Saudi Arabia sports minister says its government would definitely support any private sector bids to buy Man United and Liverpool and express hope that Cristiano Ronaldo one day plays in their domestic league. Wow. Okay, then let's do it. Pick up Chelsea Dan. How you doing, my man? How you doing well? I'd love to see Steve Ballmer. He's the only American I think everyone wants, ain't it? Steve Ballmer, however you pronounce his name. I think he's the one we all sort of want. Guys, we've got 80 odd people in the chat. It's only 38 likes. Everyone go and press the fun button. Let's get the likes up to 50 real quick. Let's get the likes up to 50 real quick. We've only got what? Yeah, we've only got 38 likes, guys. Hit that fun button. It's free to do. Helps the channel grow. Gets new eyes on the product, guys. Yeah, go and smash that like button up, guys. Smash that like button up. I would appreciate it, guys, immensely. And if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate that. Channel's going to be changing up quite soon, guys. I don't know why it's so dark in here. I do apologise. Channel's going to be changing up real soon, guys. So let you know. I'm going to tell you what's going on for the rest of the season in a second. I'm worried if we get taken over that the Super League thing will come back again. I wouldn't mind if the Super League came back. I want that against the Super League. When you look at it now, with the Super League, if you look at it now, yeah, and the way the Champions League is going to be in 2 seasons' time, there ain't much difference, man. There ain't much difference. Look, UEFA, do you know how much money UEFA keep? The whole reason the Super League was coming about is because every year UEFA get the money for the Champions League, right, from the broadcasters. So the broadcasters then pay UEFA for the Champions League, right? So then UEFA split the costs between all the Champions League teams, yeah? Do you know how much money UEFA keep? They keep hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions that should really be going to the football clubs, but they keep it all. And that is why especially the American owners of a lot of the teams were like, "Now, you know what? That ain't right. We all want more of that money, and we should deserve all that money as well." Look, the teams like Manchester United, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, no matter what people think, yeah, they're the money teams in Europe. They're the money teams. When it comes to European football, a lot of the people around the world want to watch Liverpool. They want to watch Real Madrid. They want to watch Man United. They want to watch Barcelona. They want to watch Bayern Munich. They want to watch PSG, right? They're the teams that everyone around Europe wants to watch, right? But UEFA keep all the money. In reality, they should be paying these teams. They should be giving them all this money, but they don't. They keep it all. So they're like, fuck it. Let's do the Super League then. Where in the Super League, all the money earned is then given to all the players, all the teams equally. So then you're running in money. You won't need state ownership. We'll be dripping in gold. But, it all kicked off. Players alike and old players alike were like, you can't change the sport. You can't change the great game because what happens to all the small teams and stuff like that. Yeah, let's talk about all the small teams, yeah? Let's talk about the League One teams and the League Two teams, yeah? Let's talk about them. The League One and League Two teams. Who helps them? Where are all these pundits that came out the woodwork and said no to the Super League because it will affect the teams like Bury who got put out of business? It will affect the teams like Bolton that put them out of business, yeah? They went out of business anyway because they spent their money terribly and they didn't look after their finances properly. Where was Gary Neville there? Why didn't Gary Neville save Bury? Bury's in Greater Manchester. Gary wants to run for mayor of Greater Manchester eventually. Why didn't he save Bury with his money? Why didn't he save Bury with his money? Why didn't he save Bolton? That's around the Greater Manchester area. Why didn't he save Bolton with his money? Yeah? Why? Why should Premier League teams buy out other teams and help them? Why? Sort out your finances. Look after your finances. Do it properly. Yeah, and the Super League can still do a parachute. And the Super League can still do a parachute payment scheme. Exactly. Exactly. Big up, my man. How you doing? How you doing? Kawazi, how you doing? We heard it all about the football pyramid. Yeah, exactly. But where's everyone else helping them? Why are they letting them fall? This is what does my head in. Right? People come out the parapet, yeah. All you ever hear is people coming out the parapet to talk about this club needs saving, that club needs saving. It's not right that Premier League teams are not saving them. Why is it not right? So if Tranmere are in trouble, yeah, right? If Tranmere are in financial trouble, yeah, they're in the Wirral, part of Merseyside-ish, sort of. They're in the Wirral, yeah. Why should Liverpool and Everton help them? Why? Why? Someone tell me why they should help them, because they're their neighbours. Fuck off. If they spent money incorrectly, why would I trust them giving them money if they've spent it incorrectly to getting themselves in financial peril? You know, they're getting financial peril for a reason, man. You get in financial peril for a reason because you're not looking after the books well enough. You look after the books a little bit. You look after the books a little bit better, you won't get in financial peril. Now, everyone goes, it's not their fault. You know, it's the teams around them. It's the money in the game now. Well, why are all the other teams in League One and League Two and the Championship all right then? Why are they all right then? Why are they still active and still playing? Is it because they're looking after their money a little bit more? Is it because they're looking after their money a little bit more? They're looking after the books a little bit better? You've got some Championship teams, yeah? So here's the problem, right? Bolton went from the Premier League to the Championship to the League One, right? They got their parachute money. This is where it annoys me, right? Bolton got their parachute money from being relegated from the Premier League. So when they're in the Championship, they're actually quite a rich team to be in the Championship because they got all that Premier League parachute money. All right? What did they do with it? Spent it unwisely, bought terrible players, paid ridiculous wages on average footballers that didn't actually want to play for Bolton Football Club and help them out of the Championship. So what happened then? They start to slip down again. You're in League One now. You still got players on ridiculous contracts that you can't get rid of. So you spent your money incorrectly. It ain't up to neighbouring teams because they're Premier League teams to help them out. It just ain't. So if I go over top of my credit card, yeah, if I go over top of my credit card, right, I got a credit card, I go and spunk it all, yeah, I buy this, this and this, right, on my credit card, yeah, and then the first payment comes out for my credit card. You know what? I ain't paying that and cancelling on my direct debit. I ain't paying that money back on my credit card. It's free money. Free money. I ain't paying that back. Yeah, go away. Right? 12 months go down the line. I've got debt collectors at my door. By the way, you never paid for that. You never paid for your credit card. And I was like, that was 12 months ago, weren't it? That was 12 months ago. Oh, okay. I don't know what to do. Hang on. Give me a minute. Go upstairs to my computer. Apply for a new credit card so I can pay the old credit card off. Oh, guess what? They won't lend me the money because I'm untrustworthy. There you go. There you go. You know what I mean? So, look. Yeah, that might be why they're in trouble, Raging Pot. They bought... that might be why they were in trouble. Bolton ran out of fun. Bolton run by frauds. Exactly. If people that own a football club don't run the football club properly and they drop down and down and down and they're not running that club properly, it shouldn't then be up to their neighbouring side who might be a Premier League team. So who's the closest Premier League team to Bolton? Is it Man United? Man City? Would you say? Trying to think. Burnley? Yeah, randoms because it's Lancashire, ain't it? Why would it be up to them to pay them out of trouble? Why would it be up to them to get them out of trouble? Yeah, because they, you got dodgy owners. You got dodgy owners who are spunking all your money, but you've come to me to save your football club by giving you 10 million. Oh, how am I going to get 10 million back? This ain't a tenner. How am I going to get 10 million back? You know, how do I know you're not going to just spunk that again and get in trouble and I never see this money back? You know, it's like, it's just it does my head in. So all these people that always come out against the Super League. Look, when the Super League first started, I was against it because I never knew about anything. I didn't do my research. You know, as soon as I saw it, I was like to my wife, I was saying, if Liverpool join the Super League, I don't know what I'm going to do because it just sounds like they're doing it for pure greed and it sounds selfish. But then when you actually read into it and look at it properly and study it, and then look at UEFA at the same time, it's like you're swapping one evil for the other, right? You got the devil on that shoulder, and you got the devil on that shoulder. That's all it is. There's no difference. And then you look at it and think, Jesus Christ, do you know how much money UEFA keep? Do you know how much UEFA? Do you know how much money UEFA keep? And by the way, let's not forget who's in charge of UEFA for a little while. Certain geezer who's on a certain FIFA documentary on Netflix. Do you know what I mean? Taking brown envelopes under the table, swimming in gold coins. Yeah, and you tell me the Super League's corrupt. Fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Does mind the squirrel from the wheel, you know? Exactly. Fuck off. Conveniently dropping this news before the transfer window, says Eunice. I don't think that's got to do. Like Ward is still in charge, even when the transfer window is about. Speak on it, Jamie. True facts, mate. Big up, Dan. I mean, it's just does my head in all that stuff. Really does. I hate all the hypocrisy. Both shot teams hold Rochdale. Berry had gone back down the pyramid. Yeah, well, I didn't know. Like, this is what I was saying with Berry. I remember when Berry were going, like, Berry were in trouble, yeah? Berry, if I remember right, if I'm doing my geography correctly, I think Berry is in Greater Manchester, ain't it? I think it's in Greater Manchester, near Manchester, ain't it? It's like on the border. I think it actually comes under Berry comes under Greater Manchester, right? I remember when it was happening, and Gary Neville was speaking about it and saying why could he was a bit upset that Man United wouldn't help him. I'm like, why? Why would they help him? And Gary Neville, you're a multi-millionaire. I'm sure if you feel this passionate about Berry getting in trouble and you're from that part of the world, don't help him. I don't see you putting your hand in your pocket, fella. You're a multi-millionaire. Go and put your hand in your pocket. Go and give him a few million to stay afloat. You know why you didn't, Gary Neville? Because you didn't trust you see your investment back. And that is why Premier League teams don't do it. So get off your high horse. I hate it all. I hate all everyone on their high horse. It does my head. Corruption. Anyone seen that FIFA documentary? FIFA are the biggest cartel I've ever seen in my life. They put every cartel to shame. just pure corruption. Platini and all that. Platini was the head of UEFA. Everyone forgets that. He was the head of UEFA, taking brown envelopes under a desk. You know, pure corruption, man. And everyone's saying the Super League's bad. The Super League's bad. Get out of it. Get out of it. Yeah, the Super League will happen again. There's no doubt about it. I have a gut feeling Julian Ward's leaving because he knows who Liverpool's new owners are and he doesn't like it. Says Quantum Geek. Big up Quantum Geek. Love that name. He could put a consortium together. Yeah. And he's got a team in Salford City who are loaded. Yeah, Salford City are just taking up all the Berry players. Salford City was one of the reasons Berry got in trouble. You know, conflict of interest and all that. Conflict of interest. You know what I mean? Big up G in the house as well. How you doing, G? Mad. It's mad, man. Quarter played them a bomb. Qatar played them a bomb for this World Cup. Oh man, it just corruption in football. That I just hate hypocrisy. It's gonna come out again. It'll come out again. If that happens, all the big teams in the Premier will be banned from the Premier League. There was a big thing about it. That's why Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Man City backed down from it. Look, it all depends. It all depends. I think the Premier League might think differently on it this time because they're seeing how UEFA are. I think the Premier League might act differently on it. Look, the Premier acted that swiftly because they didn't know the whole rules about going into it. It's only now when you look back at it, you look back at what the Super League proposed, yeah, and then you look at what the look at what you. Everyone go back and look at that day. What is it? 18 months ago now. What the day the Super League proposed, yeah, it was on Sky Sports News all night. The proposal from the Super League, how the pyramid was built, what you'd be given. This is what every team will get, and all that sort of stuff, right? Then you look at what UEFA are doing with the Champions League in 2 seasons. They took all their ideas. UEFA sat there and went, you know what? You know what? Say this quietly. Say it on the quiet, guys. Say it on the quiet. But these ain't bad ideas. What should we do? Right, I'll tell you what we do. We're threatening all of them with their European license. We'll take all their European licenses away, and then they come screaming back to us, right? And when they come screaming back to us, we'll give them their European licenses back, and then we'll go nick all the ideas from the Super League and put it in Champions League. Great idea, boss. Great idea. Great idea. And then we keep that money. We keep that money to ourselves. Yeah, that's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing. It's all bullshit. No one. It's all bullshit. UEFA copied it, man. Look at what the Champions League's going to be in 2 years. It's a league. It's going to be a league format. And you've got to do playoffs just to get into the knockout stages if you don't finish high enough in your league. And it's 10 extra games on top of the original Champions League. So, no, they haven't copied it at all. Just bullshit. It's just bullshit. Oh, man. Big up, Captain Sal. How you doing, my friend? I love Captain Sal. Look at that. He's got the oil frackers going. Look at that. Look, he ain't hiding it. Qatar have led FIFA up a garden path for all the deals they signed sponsor. They pulled the rug from under them. Oh, no. The Premier will end up like the English Super League. Imagine that. Exactly. Question A, would you get rid of Diaz this January and replace him with Gapco? And he's obviously been tapped. I would not replace Gapco with anyone in our team. I don't even want Gapco at Liverpool, full stop, man. I don't even want Gakpo at Liverpool, full stop. I don't think he's good enough. But no, I ain't letting Diaz go for love or money. We might have a Diaz problem, though, because a certain Darwin Núñez looks better off the left. And certain Darwin Núñez looks better off the left, you know, so he might have a bit of a Luis Diaz problem. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we're far from being at grounds for 6 hours like NFL. I don't think we are, man. He's 25 going on 26. I think it'll be a good move for and change than 80 million. Pay 40 million. I mean, keep it level if you like him, man. What I've seen of him, not for me. It's finished. Isn't there a new World Cup system as well, Jamie? Yeah. And it's 64 teams next World Cup. Just doubling it. It's 32 teams at the moment, which it should be, and it should stay 32 teams. It works well. You know, whatever. 8 groups, last 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final, third place playoff. Works beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. But no. FIFA are like, shit, we need more money. We need more money. Do you know how we get more money? We get more nations in the World Cup. 64 teams. Let's do it. It's just stupid. I also don't think Diaz will force for a move in the next 18 months to Barca. I don't think he'll go. I don't know. I'd be surprised. UEFA kept 1.2 billion in 17-18 season, Jamie. They kept one for. That's just so much money, man. That's so much money. 1.2 billion. All them teams missed out on. That's mad. Big up, Jamrock. Thanks for the super chat, Jamrock. I think Cody we're going to be a beast. Man, I hope you're right. Well, Klopp was told back in October that FSG were going to look at investors, so it's not something a sporting director would be kept in the dark about. Yeah, that's true. Argentina to win the World Cup. Look, I had Argentina as my favourites going into it. I don't know if they get out of their group. Gapco would be a mistake for Diaz because good and better players than Gapco, mate. I'll be annoyed if he goes to Barca, but South Americans love Barca and Madrid, so it could happen. It might happen, but look, if Diaz leaves, we're getting paid, man, so let's not worry. If it was my pick, though, I'd rather the Napoli winger. Oh, what? Kevin, as we all call him on the channel. Yeah, keep it level. You might be new to the channel, I think. But yeah, we all called a Napoli winger because none of us could say his name. So we decided to just call him Kevin. So if that's who we're on, we just called him Kevin on here. None of us could pronounce his name. Yeah. I can't even pronounce it written down. So we're all calling him Kevin. We've just been doing it since the watch along. The World Cup highlights FIFA corruption in a big way. You know it's Kevin, man. You know. Since the watch along, Liverpool Napoli watch along, I couldn't say his name. So I just started calling him Kevin since the watch along, and it caught on. Now everyone calls him Kevin. Big up, guys. Thank you for joining me. I went a bit longer than I was meant to go on. The wife's be angry. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, guys. It is late. I do appreciate you all coming on, listening to me rabbit on for an hour and a half. Thank you very much, as always, guys. Big up to everyone here. Beautiful guys, beautiful people. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow night. For the Liverpool. For England versus the United States, guys. So let me just go through my World Cup. So what just happened till the end of the week, guys? So England versus America, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, France versus Denmark at 4 o'clock. Then on Sunday, Spain versus Germany at 7 o'clock. So my next 3 videos, 7 p.m. tomorrow, 4 p.m. Saturday, 7 p.m. Sunday, guys. So, guys, make sure you tune in, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff. Thank you very much, as always, for coming in. Don't forget the like button on the way out. Anyone watching this on the replay, smash the like button, get the likes up. Comment below as well after the video ends of anything you want to talk about, and I'll get it back to you in the comments. Till then, guys, till tomorrow.